Hey guys, welcome to the Mixed Message. I'm Ryan Alexander Holmes.
I'm Chad Maxwell.
And today, our guest is Myles B, my friend, my best friend, and fellow LA local, father, a fiance, and actor extraordinaire. You might have seen him. You might have seen him on Dave. Criminal Minds, you know Criminal Minds.
He was on
Dave.
You were on Criminal Minds?
And Fight Night on NBC Peacock. Go stream it. He's starring alongside
Marvel Runaways.
What?
He's starring alongside in Fight Night.
Don Cheadle,
Kevin Hart,
Samuel Jackson,
Terrence Howard,
Terrence Howard,
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson. I said other famous people.
It's not a big deal. But today we're gonna talk about this man's journey.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to learn a lot.
You're going to learn. We came into the industry at the same time after our MFAs.
Yeah, man.
What are some of the expectations that you had going in that have changed now that you've seen the reality of it?
Everything.
Yeah,
man. You know, like I didn't start acting to be famous. I just knew it came with it. But I expected it to be in a certain place at a certain time. I just thought that, there was kind of like a linear equation to the trajectory.
Well, like a ladder.
You compare it to like finance in like legal finance.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that trajectory.
You'll be intern, and then after intern, then you'll be the
junior associate, and then partner.
Blah, blah. So acting, I thought it was like, okay, so you'll do like maybe a commercial. Okay, and then maybe you'll do like co-star role, like maybe one or two lines here. And then you'll do like a guest star. Yeah. Then maybe you do like a recurring guest star.
Yeah.
And then maybe we'll get just like a little series regular there. And then after there, I'll get my first series regular. I'm gonna be a fucking movie star.
Movie star making millions of dollars, living in a mansion.
I projected with my own calculations that would happen within like a 5-year span. Actually, really, in my mind, I was like 3 years because fuck these people, I'm better than everybody.
You were less delusional than me, bro. I thought it was going to happen in the first year.
Well, look, I'm saying that to not sound like I was completely delusional, but there's still a little voice in my head that like, this happening next week, motherfucker.
Yeah.
And I'm heading into year 7. I didn't start my journey really until 2018.
Where the hell were you?
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about as far as like having representation, like audition and shit.
Why?
That didn't start for me until 2018.
Like having an agent and everything?
Yeah, because I graduated in March, April, May. Then all of June I was in like New York.
Okay.
I thought I was going to try to go to New York.
Yeah.
Then July, August, I was like, I'm going to sign with my... Like, I think I signed with my...
you were in New York for a minute.
September?
You were just like out there...
I signed with them in September.
Because you wanted to like see that as a reality and living in New York and acting there.
Which I think would have been hard. I think it would have been really cool. I think that would have helped I think that would have padded the journey on the way. Because I would have been able to do theater, which we were so used to doing. LA just doesn't have a theater scene.
Yeah.
And so,
some people might get mad when they hear that, but... Well, if you're comparing it to Broadway or off-Broadway, it's not the same at all.
It's not the same.
You can't sustain your life on that.
Theaters in random places in New York. You just walk by.
And it's great.
It's just like...
It's great.
Yeah, you go in there, and it's off Broadway, and you'll see a crazy-ass experimental show that will end up being developed in 7 years, and then you'll see it on TV.
Because it's a different world
It's just ridiculous,
Whereas
the
dedication to the craft.
In LA, when you're not working on television and film, you either find a class to take or you try to work at the 3 reputable theaters in LA, 3 or 4. Like
or you just get into sketch and improv and you just go to those theaters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Because we got plenty of that here.
There's a lot of sketch.
I mean, there's a lot in New York too.
A lot of improv.
Yeah.
But then it's kind of thankless. And then you look at like your bills and you can't pay them. And then you think about all the work that you put in to...
Bro, when reality hit...
And then you like...
When did reality hit?
Where the fuck am I right now?
When did reality hit for you? It was like probably 6 months in. Out of college. It hit me mad hard.
6 months in is quick as fuck.
It's quick because I'm like, I can't pay any of my bills.
Yeah.
And I have to get a job. Yeah. That has nothing to do with acting. That at the time, remember, this was pre-COVID. All our auditions were in person, pretty much.
Yeah, bro.
So like we had to get a job
bro.
that accommodated for that.
Miles.
Now it's all self-tape, so you could have a full-time job.
Well, I remember the day that I was busting tables at a restaurant in 2018, and then it's the same. I booked a pilot, and I got the call. So look, bro, I got the call that I booked this pilot.
Explain what a pilot is.
So a pilot is the first episode of television. And usually, what they'll do is they'll just shoot the pilot episode, and sometimes they use that to be like the litmus test if the
and this was network, so that's money.
Yeah, so this was for the CW at that time. Then the
lead
CW would then use that pilot as a litmus test, and like, are we gonna buy this here? Are we gonna put this on? Are we gonna put money into making this?
Yeah. It's the pitch episode.
It's the pitch episode. Yeah. And so I pulled up to my job. I was about to walk in.
I feel like I know where this is going.
I got the phone call, bro. I got the phone call while I was sitting, as I was pulling up, like, hey, you booked it. It's yours. You're leaving in 2-3 weeks to shoot the pilot. I was like, oh my God. I made it. I was like, I did it. I made it, y'all.
I'm a movie star.
It's like, I fucking knew it. See, I fucking knew it. I knew I was better. I knew I was the best in the world.
And then what happened?
I knew I was the best in the world. So then I walked into the restaurant, right, and I acted immediately. So my happy tears, I just acted like they were sad tears, and I said, I can't do it today. There's just been a lot going on, and
I can't do this.
So I said, but my check here though, right?
Yeah.
I still picked up my last check.
Yeah.
And wiped your tears with it. Yeah.
And wiped my tears away in the car, and got in the car like, hey, we outside. And then, bro, I went to Vancouver, shot the pilot, had a phenomenal 4 weeks up there. Like, it was dope. But, so now we're learning lessons, right? So we do the table read. So if for those that don't know, when you do a pilot, everybody comes, they fly us all out to Vancouver, and all of the main actors sit at a table with the director, the producers, and then there's a screen at that time with 30 people sitting at a desk at CW Studios.
The executives are watching.
So everybody's watching.
Yeah.
So we read the pilot out loud, and it's like, yeah, you do it. And it went well. Everybody was happy. It was 6 of us that were leads, right? So the 6 of us, we went to dinner that night. Like, oh, we look so good. We're so fun. This is so fun. We're gonna, look at us.
We're gonna be like a family.
Yeah, we're a family. Oh, we're friends
for 7-8 seasons at least.
We're going. Oh, this story is so cool. And then the next day, got an email that the lead was being replaced
after the reading,
after the stage reading. Okay,
that's how brutal this industry is, bro.
So, bro, they flew her away. 2 days later.
Wait, and you were having dinner with her, and you're all laughing and having a good time. Like, oh, I'm glad they cast you because we're gonna be friends, so cool. And then bye.
This is also the girl nuts. I did the chemistry read with in the beginning of the audition. So like, I was like, oh shit. And her replacement was there 2 days later.
Damn.
And we started filming 2 days after she got there, which means that we had to rehearse everything in the hotel, and they just like use like tape and shit to block out like the set, and we were in the hotel like the night before shooting the pilot, starting to shoot the pilot, and we were blocking the shit out. So we shot the pilot.
Jesus.
Didn't get picked up. So then basically I'm back at square one. I didn't like make a shitload of money.
Quit your job.
Well, I just walked away.
You already quit.
Yeah. Okay, because I thought that's where I was going. Like, I quit, and then you're just like, I'm a TV star now.
I'm a fucking movie star.
Burns that bridge immediately.
But think about it though. Like, I took the 4 weeks or 5 weeks that it took to shoot the pilot. Okay.
Yeah.
Then I came back, and they had like 4 or 5 months to decide if they were gonna make. So I took that time also where I wasn't going to that job. So I just never went back, But then I also never went back to that show either because it didn't fucking get picked up.
Yeah.
And then right, so that show doesn't get picked up. None of those actors from that show work in like immediacy.
Yeah.
Except for the one that
got cut.
Got cut.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
She works all the time.
She's a fucking star now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Who is it?
Her name is Joey King. So if you were to Google
You've seen her before.
Yeah, bro. If you were to Google her, you would be like, oh, shit. Yeah. This girl's been in fucking everything. With everybody.
Started as a child actor.
Every level. Started as a child.
So like maybe the pilot would have been picked up if she was in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She was, and look, and Ryan knows, like, most shows have a horse that's going to get you guys through. You know what I mean? Through the doors of the studio to made to the box office, whatever it is.
A star.
Like that's kind of what the thing is. Like you at least have one name.
Or like a showrunner that's famous.
Yeah, like if everybody else is kind of like, like up and coming, then you at least have one solid name that people know, or somebody that's just more familiar than the rest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it's a business.
Yeah.
Like Logan Paul or something.
Keep going, man.
Phenomenal actor, by the way. Phenomenal actor, by the way.
Yeah, anyway.
Sorry, you're saying?
Wait. Like, hold on, I don't know how to segue into this, but like, when it comes to being black in this industry, right?
I'm black?
Yeah. I'm black. Maybe a little, and you're a little blacker than me.
Shit.
You're a little blacker than me, man.
I'm fucking...
Look, hold on, compare.
I'm black? What?
Oh, shit.
I think you could be considered light-skinned, bro.
I thought I needed more showers.
How do you feel about being called light-skinned?
Oh, anyway. Huh?
How do you feel about being called light-skinned?
I don't agree with it.
You don't agree with it?
I don't think I am. I think I'm more of a almondy, mocha, hazelnut.
Yeah, people don't hit you with light-skinned jokes.
They don't hit me with light skin jokes, but they call me light skin aside. I know this is a conversation that's formed to you.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm familiar.
You're familiar? Okay.
I'm familiar.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm familiar.
I know. I've heard about this. Colorism.
Well, I feel like our roles will be also different because it's not us that are choosing, or even people that look like us that are writing most of our roles.
But even when they do, like,
God in
they
certain
have
roles
picked people that were darker skinned for roles that are supposed to be scarier or gangster.
So now you know what I'm talking about. Because you make it human.
Yeah.
Right? And it's usually written that.
I feel like Asians also experience like their own version of colorism. I mean, just within like, the lighter skin Asians have like more privilege and opportunities compared to like Southeast Asians or like
Vietnamese,
like my fiance, like she's Filipino,
and
like she talks about how some of her like aunts, like it's very like customary to like have like skin lightening shampoo.
Yeah. Shampoo?
Yeah, and body wash.
Because it like drips down onto your face. And
sorry, I meant body wash. I
was like, shampoo.
No, but you know what I'm saying? But I feel like it's like a similar thing with casting. Like if you want like a more like LA gangster type Asian, you go with like a Filipino person.
It wouldn't be
and then if you want like a suave like Asian person or like a ninja, you go with like a lighter skin, this person knows like.
But then also, right, the features also, right, like so you see a lot of Korean American actors, and their features are more along the aesthetic of what American beauty standards
like Eurocentric.
Well, they're also
they're
also like not butchering. I'm sorry. Plastic surgerying the hell out of themselves to look.
We are. Wait. Say that. Wait, say your plastic surgery thing.
Okay, they're
also. So I have a clean cut.
They're also butchering. No. They're also like the plastic surgery capital of the world, right?
Yeah.
And so, what is the standard of beauty internationally? Because it's been exported by colonialism,
by
Hollywood, and colonialism and imperialism, and what's the face of that?
Yeah.
So they've been like making their noses a certain shape and bringing their jawlines in and wearing those color contacts.
Double eyelid surgery.
Yeah, double eyelid surgery.
My cousin got double eyelid surgery as a high school graduation gift.
High school graduation.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And I get it. People will defend themselves and be like,
getting a boob job.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it to look more white. Then what are you doing it for?
To look more beautiful.
Okay, thank you.
I'm not beautiful now.
I'm sorry. Like maybe that is not every reason why someone does it, but
I mean, obviously the industry wouldn't exist without some sort of like
standard
marketing for a standard that makes you like ashamed of yourself.
But
you know,
this goes all back to the industry that we're in.
Yeah.
And you're in it too with the social media stuff that you do and you and I do.
Because that shit has completely changed.
I feel like that's kind of replaced like the theater in LA. In a way.
That's such a wow, because also like the disconnection from the audience is so vast. I mean, although like you have the chats
physical
and
distance,
everything like that, but the physical distance and that interaction is different. Somebody was telling me they felt like social media is now your new kind of like real in a way.
Yeah,
like,
it's like our portfolio.
Yeah, it's like more
actors
reel.
Yeah,
it's like more. Yeah, that is kind of okay. We want to see who you are. Let's go to your social media.
How you feel about that, Myles?
I think that's bullshit. I think that's garbage. Why? Why is that garbage, Myles? I'll tell you. Because it's all curated. Even dread is curated. So whether it's joy or dread
grief,
or happiness
sorrow,
or even being genuine, it's all
authentic.
It's all curated for the experience of the invisible viewer, of the person that we don't know it's for. So it's hard for me to really agree with that, because then when somebody gets to set and you're dealing with a real person and you need them to tell a story, they don't know how to do that because everything that they've done is contrived. You believe that what you're seeing is like a real person, but that's just their on-screen personality,
their persona,
and all of their joy turns off as soon as the shit stops recording. And so like I feel like
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, so I feel like people are like saving their like best version of themselves for their 60 to 120 second clip. And then as soon as they turn it off, they're back to their miserable self.
Yeah, I see where you're coming from,
you know
because like having gone and done the whole drama school and getting like classical training, there is a difference. But some people that have that don't know the difference.
Well, you don't know the difference, also, bro, because it's just reps, right? So it's just like we go to school really to get a concentrated amount of experience in a small time. Right? So really in those 3-4 years that you're in grad school or in any type of program, really, like that's really an incubator where you're just getting bombarded with the fucking acting experience where we're doing it 24/7. Where it's like
10 to
I
10.
had moments where I was in a play, in rehearsals for another play, and having to do scene study class, having to rehearse for my scene study, prepare for scene
clown
study,
class, and then Commedia dell'arte.
And then still also on top of that, grading papers about plays from the acting students.
You had to grade papers?
Like I did have to grade papers.
Well, I think the biggest difference is, I think, like, practicing your acting on social media versus at an institution or just like by doing plays and shows and stuff, or like, TV or whatever, is like the homeschool version of it. Like, it's entirely dependent on getting, like, sure, you get your reps in a lot, but it's very entirely dependent on how good those reps are, right? So if you're not challenging yourself acting wise and doing skits, or just writing wise doing skits, and you just kind of phone it in and just kind of post whatever, or just it's like a video of you talking to the camera about some story time, like, it obviously it's not going to translate very well. But you also see people like who do find success because you could tell that what they're doing is very unique on social media, where you're like, okay, this person, but you can tell that they're an actor first, or like a writer first.
They've done work outside of that.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like a lot of influencers too, when they say they're an actor, really are just like a personality, and they rely on that one-trick pony aspect of themselves because they know it's going to get the views, and they get scared to do anything else.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm saying? The problem with even what you were saying, like as far as being a social media entity and then saying I'm an actor, but all your reps are through the social media thing or in that lens, is that it's all within your comfort.
Completely controlled environment that you control.
Whereas the difference with going to school or going to classes is that you can have a teacher or professor that might see something in you that you are not aware of, and they'll give you a scene you would never think of doing, and that makes you. It just puts you in a uncomfortable position where you have no choice but to grow. Whereas if you are just doing everything that's in your comfort level, that's your ideas, and and that you just do in your house with your own setup, and you're playing 3 characters that you didn't even really write. You just kind of gave yourself a conceptual idea about. Again, you just know how to act with yourself, and that's never going to be what you're doing. You're always going to be acting with another person, unless you got, you're doing some
Marvel shit.
Yeah, and it's a tennis ball, or you're doing the live version of How to Train a Dragon, and you have to think of it's a fucking 60-foot dragon, but it's really this little ass tennis ball.
Is this tennis ball Tom Holland? No. Oh, okay. I don't know who I'm acting with then.
So, so who's the ball? You know what I'm saying? It's the raccoon. Okay. All right. Hello, raccoon. You know what I mean? What the fuck you doing?
How you doing?
But so like that might be easier for a social media person because they're used to acting with nobody.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, if you are an actor and you're used to having that feedback from another person and the feedback from the audience, you're just gonna approach it in a different way. And I think it also will bear different fruit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's why it's very rare to find. I feel like, God, I'm gonna throw myself under the bus a little bit, but like, it's very hard to find like breakout talent. I feel like in the social media space, because it's so hard to challenge yourself and put yourself outside your comfort zone in a self-imposed manner, right? Because even if you're doing something to challenge yourself, you're going to like, it's still kind of like 1 foot back in your comfort zone.
I know what you mean because it's, first of all, this algorithm and how it keeps changing is an addiction model.
Yeah.
And we're creators. We get addicted to understanding that we found something that works. That gives us likes and views. And then you get addicted to like continuing to do that. I think me and Chad are always challenging ourselves because we just get bored. Right? And then we try something different. And over the years, I've been able to be like, yeah, fuck it. I don't care if this doesn't do well. I care about this and this is funny to me or this is impactful to me. And then you actually kind of find a way to make that work.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't, and then you're just like, whatever, I'm gonna try something else.
Yeah, we try to. I try to do like one try hard. I call them like try hard videos, like every like 1 to 2 months, where it's just kind of like, okay, this is written out, it's planned.
Yeah, there's a script.
There's a script. Like it's more of a sketch, like a full on like more like a YouTube sketch, if anything. Something that I would want like a producer to see, right? And I think that's been very rewarding. Obviously, it takes a lot more effort, than doing the tried and true stuff.
When it takes a lot of effort and you're addicted to the instant gratification and like the low lift for high reward, then it's hard to challenge yourself. Again,
you almost don't even know because you almost don't even know what you're capable of,
or
like know how to challenge yourself. And then if you fall into that model or fall into that habit of just doing the thing that you do, then and it works, then like why would I change? Why would I? But then as soon as you step into a space where it's like it's scripted and there's lines and there's cues and there's blocking, so you can't just like. So we want you to go here, and from here you're gonna go there. You're gonna pick up the cup. You're gonna drink.
The technique.
Oh my god! And like making that look normal. So they're like, we can do this on our couches at our houses. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm gonna move the camera from the couch. I'm gonna move it to the kitchen. Oh yeah, I can do it in the kitchen too. All right, but now can you do it when there's like 15 people around you holding boom mics, holding blah blah blah, the focus puller, blah blah blah, or whatever it is. You got to get the cue. Also, you got to hit your mark. You know what I'm saying?
And sometimes you take notes where it's like, hey, can you walk like a tad slower for the focus puller? Can you? Like, and it's like things that are more of these like that have nothing to do with the actual character in the scene. It just has to do with the technicality of like filmmaking. Yeah.
Which also, honestly, I feel like that it can only really be learned on the job. Like, bro, like going from theater and that's why I think it is a misconception that I see a lot of actors, especially like a lot of actors that are very seasoned actors, say that there's no difference between television film acting and the theater acting, but there for fuck sure is. To me at least. Because their thing is just like acting is acting. If you can act, you can act. And I'm like, I get that, and I completely understand that, right? But let's not just give a big general. Let's not make it general, right?
Yeah.
There is nuance to the camera. Like And Tom Cruise always talks about the camera, right? But Tom Cruise also doesn't come from theater. So it's also different, right?
Yeah, he doesn't.
So there is an understanding of the camera, what it takes to tell the story, how much to give, how you angle your face, where you hold your chin, what that tells you about the person versus if you hold it like right here, how much volume you give, how much, you know what I'm saying? How many times you fucking blink. I mean, there's so many things. There's so many things that go into play with the camera that are not in play when you're in the theater. I never thought about blinking in my fucking life in theater. Never. Never was I on the stage like, I'm blinking too much. But I have watched scenes, I'm like, that motherfucker blinked too much. Or think about like, that motherfucker didn't blink at all. Or think about or paying attention to the breath, paying attention to when they close their mouths versus when they leave their mouth, part their lips. I think about when they furrow the eyebrow. Think about when they go from this focus to that focus. Like, there's so many things, and I really feel like you can only really learn that shit doing it. Focus puller. Oh no, I didn't even know that was a fucking thing until I got on set. You know what I mean?
Or just for continuity's sake, like opening the door with the same hand every single take. You know, it's just for the edit. You know, like stuff like that. Like I feel like what made me realize the difference in school was my friend Sam. He gave me this book that he let me borrow, and it was literally Michael Caine's book. It was like this big, just about acting for the camera.
Yeah,
and it's like and he's like, I'm not going to tell you how to act. I'm not going to tell you how to act. I'm just going to tell you how to act for the camera.
Yeah,
and all these tiny little things like you're saying.
He talked about not
blinking. About blinking. He
talked about looking at one eye.
Look at when you're on either side.
Yeah,
talk about where you hold the chin. Yeah. I mean, bro, like it's really like you have to be so intentional,
bro. Like if you're nervous, you switch eyes all the time. Like
I remember when I did the guest star on the morning show, and how it was just not about me at all. Because I had to. The scene was like we're escaping Wuhan to get on this train because COVID is shutting down the country, and we're trying to get out of China.
But what season was this?
2. Yeah.
Okay.
2.
Okay, I only saw the first season.
Yeah. But like
he wears a mask half of his
I wear a mask.
Oh, really? But I really know him through by his mask.
You would. But there's scenes where I have no. But like, look, I'm running. I have my suitcases. I'm running downstairs. I have to speak Chinese. I have to have a British accent. I have to do all these things for the acting. But no one gives a fuck about that.
No.
All they care about is the fact that there's a camera following me. There's a crane. And there's a whole ass train that has to like stop while I'm running down the stairs, and then I have to stop and talk to the guard to get on in Chinese, and then I have to say that at the right time, and then get on, and then the doors close, and the camera follows me onto the train, and then it moves after I get on, and the whole time I'm just thinking like, if I fuck this up, they're gonna have to reset a whole ass train, and it's all gonna be on me. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where do you learn that? You don't learn that in drama school. You only learn that there.
And then you're the guest star, right?
You're the guest star. You're not even a part of the whole cast.
So like we really only have like 2 passes out there.
Yeah.
3 if we're lucky.
Or
we're on the clock. Hey.
Yeah.
So it's so much risk.
We got an hour to lunch. We're gonna try and squeeze this in.
Yeah.
And like they were happy because I never messed my lines up ever.
That's great.
But I also like didn't feel like I did the acting that I wanted to do.
Yeah.
But they didn't give a fuck. They're just like, oh my God, that was amazing. You did it.
They're just like they're just like you made.
You didn't waste our fucking time. You didn't fuck up our schedule.
Because also understanding so part of even learning what acting is understanding placement, right? So understanding that like if I am a guest star, I have to pay attention to if my guest star is if he's a driving force in this episode, or is he just another rower?
Okay? Exactly.
So if you're just another rower, right, where you're just like, okay, let me just get through the shit. I'm just a rower. This is not about me right now. I'm just kind of through here. This kind of would be anybody, but it's me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so you just do your job, you do your work, and people will celebrate you solely for fulfilling the position in a way that feels professional and feels like you had
you're like a team player.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you're doing that. But then you have to realize which is usually like if you're on Law and Order or some shit, right? Where it's like, and you only have one episode of Law and Order, but it's your episode, right? Because
it's about you.
It's about you.
Episode's about
the
you.
person that killed the person or the person that they're in suspicion of or whatever.
Main suspect.
So now that requires you to be somewhat like the series regulars, and understanding like what type of energy you need to bring in your performance, what type of performance that means you have to do. Also, like what your responsibility is to this episode.
Yes.
Right? And so like you just have a different responsibility, and both of them still get paid the same. They both get paid the same.
You get paid way less, and you're doing so much work.
You're doing so much work, and you know, if you're blessed enough to be like on a show where everybody's look, my second job was Criminal Minds.
I was literally thinking about that. You had to carry that whole fucking episode.
I had to carry like I was like the beast.
He had to cry. He had to go crazy. He had to throw a tantrum. He had to try to set someone on fire, and then he had to kill somebody,
cry for somebody.
Meanwhile, the regulars are just like running around, like, where is he?
Is he okay?
Is he okay?
Hey, over there.
Calm down. Like
a clue. Yeah.
But look, dude, Joe Mantegna, who's been an actor longer than we've all been alive, was so gracious to me, dude. He was so gracious to me. He made me feel like I had been doing it a long time. He didn't make me feel like this was my second acting job. He was just really warm and actually invited me to the play that he was directing at that time.
Oh, sick.
I didn't take him up on it because at that time, like, he's just saying that to be nice. That motherfucker don't want me to come. But I probably should have went.
Yeah.
I did, but I was so kind of like,
Definitely.
I don't want to.
I know what you mean.
Encroach Joe Mantegna.
That's another thing too. Is like the constant comparisons that you make.
Yeah.
Above and below you in this industry.
Comparisons are like modulation.
Yeah.
Like you're always kind of like trying to quantify where you are and who you are in this moment and who they are and how they see you and if this is okay.
Yeah.
Like, and I had a lot of that with one of my most recent jobs, which was Fight Night, because I was acting with so many seasoned veterans, right? You have Don Cheadle, Samuel Jackson,
Legends.
Kevin Hart,
Legends.
Raj B. Henson, Terrence Howard, and you got a whole bunch of other people under them that other people know, you know what I'm saying? And it's also was directed by an Oscar-nominated director, and Craig Brewer, who did Hustle and Flow. He just did the movie with Kate Hudson and Hugh Jackman that came out on Christmas, whatever. So he works with, he works with heavy hitters,
Yeah.
And all these people are heavy hitters. Samuel Jackson's been doing this shit longer than we've all been alive. Everybody knows Samuel Jackson. White, Chinese, black, Mexican. Everybody know who the fuck Samuel
purple,
Jackson
blue,
is.
yellow.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody know who Samuel Jackson is.
Yeah.
Any color. Any denomination.
Yeah.
And so I had to kind of see like, well, I know that I can act with anybody. That's not really a thing for me. My thing is just always allowing them to understand that I see them as a peer. I don't see them as this like monolithic being. I will always show them the respect that they deserve from the longevity that they have in the career, the work that they've done. I'll always do that. But I also am going to show them the same type of respect in a different way by showing up in my fullness.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
How do you feel about the roles that you've done and how do you look back on your career so far and where do you want to go?
I think the roles I've done have been really fun, man. I've done a lot of villains, but villains seem to be more fun to play generally. And I've just really tried to make all of them very different and make them extremely specific characters so that it doesn't feel like I'm playing the same person over and over again. And so that people don't look back at my shit and be like, oh man, he did that kind of thing. Like I feel very strongly that out of, I think I've had 12 jobs in this 7 years. And
which is crazy because that's so much in acting. That's hella jobs.
I know, bro.
But
to
anybody else, that's like you only work 10 times in
7 years.
7 years.
It just doesn't sound great. But they were all great jobs. But I look back at them and I'm like, oh no, those were all different.
Yeah.
They all had their own feel and vibe and everything. So I'm proud of that.
Do you feel like pressure as a representation? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm not a representation of anything.
You know what I'm saying? Or like because in the industry, even in social media, it's like so many eyes are on us.
Yeah.
And if you're a minority in this country, it's like it's almost like this burden that you don't have to carry, and it's really not your job, but there's still consequences to the representation that people see you as. Yeah. And so you ever feel pressure, do you know what I'm saying, in that? When it comes to like auditioning for a role or not taking a role, or you do take it and you're like, there's certain scenes that you're just like, man, how do I humanize this?
Look, there's certain roles I just don't audition for. Yeah. You know? And we've had those conversations, but like there's certain things I'm just not going to, I'm just going to say no at the audition so that I don't have to broach it when we get there or it'd be a big thing or now there's an article because you came to set and he didn't want to, like, no. Yeah. I'm just going to broach it. I'm just going to,
but it is kind of a dance though. Cause
I'm going to nip it in the bud right there.
If it's Christopher Nolan, if it's, you know what I mean, Quentin Tarantino or Spike Lee.
That's just going to be on you and your own integrity to figure out what it is. And I have my lines that I'm not going to cross. Yeah. So for me, it's just like, if I'm going to have to say no to Spike or Christopher Nolan, then I guess I'll just have to fucking do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
because it's the long term. It's the living with yourself.
Yeah, that's just what it is. And like,
I think it's also because like there's been a struggle already in your career. You know how to survive with integrity.
But look, bro. Bro. But it hasn't been the best.
Yeah, no.
Look, and then there is that thing where I understand why people do anything.
Yeah.
Like I understand why people just get up and they just take any role they get and they audition and they audition for every part that.
We are also from LA and have a whole family and friendship network here, so we're supported.
There's just certain shit
I can understand coming from some bumfuck town and you don't have, you come from trauma and a broken family and you come here in the hardest industry in the world that will take advantage of you and then you just.
So for me, like being from here, I came from trauma and a broken family, but I was from here. Mm-hmm. So that just made it so much easier. Nonetheless, though, but I mean, I do think being from LA does kind of give us a little.
Because you always have someone to fall back on.
But also, we don't care about the shiny shit. I don't care about the shiny shit. No. I don't get intimidated.
Hollywood or Beverly Hills, or we're not like,
I grew up around these people.
Glitz and glamour. It's like, no, I'm from here.
I also feel like it's hard to say no to playing villains specifically, probably because like. Villains are written to be the most active characters. They always have their agency. They're always doing something. There's so much there that you can like sink your teeth into. Yeah. And it's hard to find like, especially, like being people who normally don't get like the protagonist roles.
Yeah.
Like there's so many protagonists out there that are written with zero, like they have no agency. They are not active.
They're just reacting to everything.
They respond to everything.
And that's why, like, it's so common for people to be like, oh, my favorite character is this other character that did more stuff and not the protagonist or main character at all. Yeah. Like no one likes.
That's like Killmonger and Black Panther.
It's like, everyone loves Killmonger.
Everyone loves Killmonger. Let me ask you a question. We've talked about this.
Yes.
Would you play a slave? What if the slave is the villain?
What?
Because playing villains.
The slave.
Well, like in Django.
It could be like Samuel Jackson.
Yeah, in Django.
Well, here's the thing. I don't think that's gonna happen anymore.
Was his character's name actually like just straight up Uncle Tom?
No.
I forgot what it was.
Like, what was his name was. Oh, it was Steven. It was Steven. Okay. Because I was like, did Quentin Tarantino just call him that? What if that's what was his original name in the script, and then Samuel Jackson was like, we're not doing that.
You know what? Like, that role is something that I'm like, that's kind of funny and nuanced. That's not just sort of like your
Samuel Jackson,
your average victim slave.
He should have been nominated for.
He should have been nominated.
Yeah, he should have been.
But that's not like, man. I don't want to fucking.
He was so much more interesting than Calvin Candy.
I liked Calvin Candy.
Was great too.
And he is.
I
but
think
like
playing all those dynamics is just. I think will always be very polarizing. It's gonna be hard to find like. Somebody's like, no, those are great.
But is it a hard cut?
At all times.
Is it a hard cut no or yes? Or is it depends? Because I think Samuel Jackson's character is like, it depends.
Yeah.
It depends. Also, Samuel Jackson did that when he was in his late 60s. So for him, he's just like, I've done everything. I've been respected.
Oh, so you're saying like if it's a way to, if you're sacrificing your integrity, because also it's Samuel Jackson, so he has power.
Bro, he's not going to lose agency because he played that slave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Also, Lupita's first real role was a slave nominated for Oscar, and she has a career with that foundation.
Yeah.
And also,
she talks about
also
that,
Michael Fassbender didn't need help, but Michael Fassbender from then did even more shit.
Well, it was Steve McQueen because he just worked with Steve McQueen. I think wherever Steve McQueen went, he was gonna go.
Bro, I don't look, man. The only way that I can see myself playing an enslaved person is by if eventually aliens come and the fucking earth split up. It's like aliens come out during slave times, and my character is the slave that can talk to the aliens, and they talk to me.
Write this down.
And I am the human that the aliens want to talk to because they're just like, you are the most moral of the human beings.
Is this an idea that you're trying to? That sounds like
I have another
idea,
pitch. I have another pitch.
I just made that up right
Sounds
here.
like an Octavia Butler novel.
Aliens come down.
Yeah.
They enslave the whole human race. So now you're like a slave that's like talking to your former slave master. Like, see, now you're one of us. How's it feel?
You can play that.
Yeah.
But then, hey, we all slaves here, man.
But then all the white slaves are like bitching and moaning the whole time, like, the conditions are bad. Like, bitch,
like, what are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
This is actually way better.
This is way better.
Yeah. They have free healthcare, and we're slaves.
Like, dude,
the fuck? Like,
they have berries that you eat the berry.
Oh my god. Oh my god. So sci-fi slavery.
Sci-fi slavery.
That's okay. But
maybe we can get there.
But period piece where there is actually a dynamic and it's a white savior story. No.
Would you guys both say, since it's the space you're in, would you say that most influencers are, I'm not going to say failed, but readjusted actors, or people that wanted to be actors? Are there a lot of people that they fulfill their acting bug with influencing?
I feel like a lot of people fail just at social media, just like they fail at acting.
Yeah.
That's not a conversation that
most people
failed influencing. That's not a conversation.
Most people fail at influencing, just like they fail at, especially because now it's so oversaturated.
Oh my god!
Just like acting now is even more oversaturated because it's all self-tapes. You don't have to live in LA. You don't have to be here.
Yeah, bro.
You know what I mean? But what do you think about that?
I think the whole like social media acting, because the social media is such a broad thing. Like you can have someone anything. Like, dude, you could be walking, you could go to a dog park and there will be a dog with more followers than like so dog. Many people.
That you know, just take pictures of.
I know a couple hedgehogs that got some followers.
A couple guinea pigs. Yeah.
So like when it comes to that, hamsters. Like I feel like you really have to like
kitty cats.
Like specifically look at subsections of social media.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Because otherwise it's like saying like you're also including, when you talk about film, it'd be like including all the documentary films and all this like other stuff too. All the...
Because you can't treat us like we're all the same, because we're not. There are certain influencers that I follow, and I don't even like calling them influencers. I like calling them like digital producers or content creators, because they make stuff that actually is great.
To me, an influencer is someone who... To me, an influencer is just basically a billboard. Like it's someone who influences their audience to have them buy a product, whether it's their own or something that a brand is giving them a shit ton of money for. And to me, that's an influencer. To me, someone who's on social media trying to like make sketch comedy,
content creator,
or I guess would be a content creator. But even then, content creation is very diverse too, because you got people who just do like story times, and I don't consider that in the same genre at all.
In that whole sphere, right? Because now a lot of conversations are like how to monetize your content creation, or how to monetize your influencership, and they make it all sound so simple. But if your content is just you telling stories, what is there to monetize? Or if your content is just you doing, you know,
there is. It's the personality.
I'm not saying, I mean, or whatever it is. But does monetization depend on what you
here's what I'll like. Let's frame this, because I feel like what we're talking about with you is sort of like people who say they're actors, but they're actually influencers.
Yeah.
That's actually a small part of social media.
Okay.
A very, very small part.
I wouldn't say that. I would say it's a big part.
You would?
Actually, I would say there's plenty of people who'll be like, "Oh yeah, Hawk 2 was in this show," and she's like, and they just want the clout of like, oh, a bunch of people know this face.
But that's not self-proclaimed. That's people saying she is. Is that what you mean?
Sure, but you'll hear these people who get on shows as like a cameo or something, and then they'll go like unironically, "I'm an actor now," and it's just like you're not.
Yeah,
you
just acted that time.
Yeah, you were.
Well, you're famous, and they want your fame for now because where is she now?
It's literally just
she's like in jail.
It's just capitalism corrupting everything it touches. Because like if they truly wanted people to make content online that was actually like valuable, they would just bring back the creator funds and be able to like
that's true, dude.
Literally pay everyone, and then it would just be a place where sometimes when you scroll you'll see a ad, right? But instead they take that away because they realize it's cheaper for the branding people to actually pay these small time people to make an ad for like a couple grand instead of spending millions on an ad campaign.
And they're also spending no money.
Yeah.
Now Facebook doesn't have to spend any money.
Yes.
TikTok doesn't have to spend any money.
Exactly.
They put all the money spending on the actual brands.
Yeah.
Some of whom who like pay to be on those, right? And pay for the ads. So they're paying for the ads, like these big brands, these corporations, and they're paying these influencers. Whereas like Meta, to get us on there, was paying us. Yeah. And it kind of curated like the quality to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And now that's all gone.
But they also, because Meta and all these social media platforms, they just care about the data they can extract from you to sell to these marketing companies.
Exactly. So that those companies pay them more money.
Yeah. So that's the whole thing. To me, it's just like
nobody loves you.
But that's why YouTube tends to have higher quality content.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's because they
paying you directly.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think we're gonna start seeing another influx of people going to YouTube.
Yeah.
Because it takes so much to make money from Instagram now and from TikTok now. If you don't have an actual product, whether a virtual product or a real product,
it's hard.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Especially starting from the bottom now. Just likes as opposed to back then.
And shares and subscriptions and follow account. Like that shit's tough now.
But I will say what we're talking about with social media is happening to the acting industry. It's happening to Hollywood. They're taking the same model and putting it on Hollywood, and it's not working. It's not working.
We're gonna see what shit's gonna look like when that merger actually takes place. Because
what merger?
When Netflix bought everybody.
Warner Brothers and
dude, and
Paramount,
the Paramount got bought by the brother. So like, we're gonna see what happens because they're talking about they're only gonna have like a 20-day viewing window for films in theaters. It's like it's only gonna be like 2 or like 17 days, some shit like that. Like 17 or 20 days is gonna have like the theater window, and after that, everything will go into the ether that is called streaming. And just like it's gonna be curious to see what that is. Again, are there gonna be movie stars still? Are there gonna be people that are gonna be able to have cachet as an actor? Are you gonna be able to have facility and have power over your career, or are you just gonna be like a constant free agent? After every job, you feel like you're going in the fucking transfer portal, or you feel like you're going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Or you gotta, or you gotta start over again. So it's just a very curious situation. Also, like I haven't had any like real is not, I can't say it in that way, but I haven't had any comfortable consistency. So it's hard for me to speak
in terms of working
as far as like acting work. Like I've had consistency, but it hasn't been comfortable.
Yeah,
like I'll have like a job every year or a year and a half or some shit like that, or 2 years. But that's not comfortable because by the time I get a job, I'm like, I need money. You know what I mean? So when I get into a place where I'm working consistently, I don't have to think about my finances, and I could just think about my next job. I'm curious to see what that's gonna feel like and what that will do for me. Maybe it would allow me to move freer, or maybe it can make me move with less weight.
I'm Ryan Alexander Holmes.
And I'm Chad Maxwell. Myles, you want to plug something? Anything?
Myles, sure. And Myles is going to be on Prison Break.
Oh yeah, the new
Prison Break.
Prison Break is
so in this reality, he did the pilot and it got accepted now.
Yeah,
he's going to be on TV.
And Prison Break is a reality TV show where contestants go into a prison and see if they could break out of it.
It's not that.
It's a non-disclosed prison.
Yeah,
and all the actors are real people.
Yes. Real actors.
Yeah. So I'm about to shoot
Prison
Break. We're gonna start shooting. Also, more context just to end you guys off with a lot of hope. I'm about to start shooting Prison Break at the end of April, beginning of May.
Okay.
Shot the pilot in June of 2025.
So it's a lot of time.
Wow.
It's a lot of time with no.
And when I start filming it in 2026, April or May of 2026, you'll probably see it at the end of 27. So
damn.
Even me plugging it right now, you're gonna forget about it by the time that this episode is even fucking.
Let's plug your socials. How about that?
Social media, Myles Bullock, BMYLES, BULLOCKBE. And then also, I'm also very inclusive. So like, this is one of my best friends, right? He's half black, half Chinese. So after this, I'm gonna go take him to get some orange chicken French fries. Hey man.
Honestly, we could end that.
There we go.
How long are we recording?